Hey everyone, this is Greg Allison on Green Greg's. How are y'all doing tonight? Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm. I don't know if y'all can hear me yet or not. Okay, I guess I am live. So, crazy week this week. I've not got to post as many videos on this channel as I wanted to. I've tried to post a few on my Galactic Greg's channel. The last one I posted took me longer than I meant it to, but it was for the 50th anniversary of the moon landing of Apollo 14th. And just so happens I'd had a granddaughter of one of the astronauts on Apollo 14th on my Green Greg's channel, which is Daniel Rusa. And she'd had the bug that was going around. She had it really, really, really bad. And unfortunately, yeah, it got her hospitalized, but she's recovered. She's fully recovered. So that's the good news. I'm over here trying to pull up my laptop to see what our chat session is looking like, because I'm not seeing it here on this computer. Now, sometimes I've noticed there's been some issues with that. So let's see what's going on. Not seeing the chat session here. I know last time, for some reason, it didn't start until I typed something in. So let me see if there's people. Here we got 16 watching. Give me a second. So for those that are just logging in, this is our chance for subscribers of Green Greg's to just be a community. This is our chance to chat with each other and share community time in an era where we're locked down. That's odd. See, there you go. I type something in and then stuff starts appearing. That didn't used to happen. It used to be that all the chat would just start rolling. I didn't have to type anything in. So this is twice in a row, like Richard Bell says, no chat. See, that's odd. Why did the chat have to wait for me to type something in? Usually, especially if I go with my phone, you guys would be chatting up a storm before I get in here, right? Oldest there took chat so long to respond. Yeah, that's odd. Listen, for Vision. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, you're all in now, so you're free to chat away. So once again, if you're new to my channel and you wonder what this session is all about, this is a community time. This is our basically our Friday night session for people just to kind of ask whatever questions, let it out, and chat with each other, because we're in an age where people just can't have the community and can't meet up like normal. So we're family, we're friends here. Robocalls, how you doing? And more, 19 peeps, must be early. Yeah, we're early, 22 now, I just started. Yeah, I just now got started, guys, because in essence, I went straight from working to running some errands to coming back and doing a video for the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 14 moon landing. And that had two intersections with Green Greg's. One is it had moon trees, and Green Greg's likes trees. And two, the daughter of astronaut Stuart Rusa, I interviewed her previously on this channel. And it had nothing to do with her granddad. It was about the bug she had. She's an actress now, and she's back in work and doing quite well. She's won some award. So she was a young person in good shape, exercised, worked out, and she got hospitalized. This happened months ago, but she's good now. So just then y'all know that she's been on my channel before, but now I'm talking about her granddad and also Alan Shepard and Edgar Mitchell. You heard of Edgar Mitchell. So let's see what you guys are saying. What's Granny saying? Granny's saying, where we're at here. That's it. Everyone thought I was going to die. Oh, you had the bug. Yeah. Wow, man, the demo, yeah, rats are about to attempt to disarm the most heavily armed civilian population in history of civilization. Yeah, I don't see that working out right. I don't see that working out at all. Do you? Really? What do you think? Let me show you an article I just put up on my phone before I got in here. This is the top article I got on my phone. I'll make sure I got centered right. I need to minimize this window. Here we go. Texas Republicans endorse legislation to allow vote on secession from the United States. I said Texas goes are going to have a lot of company. Because if Texas gone, you know, the vote would certainly swing to a certain side of the part over in the United States. So I'd say no conservative state would be comfortable left in the Union without Texas. That's just my 2 cents, my guess. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you spam. I want to see the chat. So what's everybody saying? They don't have the resources or the manpower to. Yeah, there you go, Richard. Wow, Texas. I've done some videos on that topic. Maybe I need to return to it. What do you think? Sorry, guys. I'm having dessert. Sorry to eat in front of you. I hope that's not bad. If it bothers you, let me know. But I just ate dinner. Just a quick dinner, just a can of chili. Did Apollo 10 ever Did Apollo 10 ever test the LEM, that's the Lunar Excursion Module, ascent engine? That's a good question. And they went down to within 10 miles of the lunar surface and came back up. I think the entire LEM went back up. I'd have to double check, but I think they used a descent engine to ascend. That's a good question. I mean, to be a valid test, maybe they should have done that. I will have to look that up. Daniel, that's a great question. And I don't know the answer to that. That's a really good, great question. I will start at Green Grades. What did you think of the agenda to top any space exploration? To stop any space exploration? That would be an agenda to contain us. I hope keep us under their thumbs forever. They're going to find. They want to find some other ways to do that in the meantime. Get up, Greg's. Get that brain food, Phil. Thank you, Wade. Sorry, guys, I'm about eating in front of you. I'm just, you know, it's just a case that I'm going late here, guys. That's all there is to it. I just ate dinner. My dinner was just a can of chili. I just got through eating it. People versus state, late night or what? Yeah, that's the way I'm having to roll right now. I got so much going on. I stumped the spacer. You're not too far removed from it, Mr. Friend of what's his name? It wrote Colonies in Space. I got the book right here, probably on my fingertips. T.A. Hippenheimer. You on Pyramid 7? Where we going? Oh, you're happily eating. Okay, that's good to know. Glad I'm not alone. So I just flipped it. Flip it again. Yeah, it works. Sometimes I forget I like to flip it when I start a video, but sometimes I forget. Get in a hurry. And none of your business says howdy, howdy. Wow, man, the only way out of this global economic collapse so bad, the poor of the world literally eat the rich. What kind of seasoning would you use? I've been cooking all day and making special food, says Granny. That sounds interesting, Granny. What are you cooking? Hey, Granny, what's for supper? Remember when he had to say, hey, Grandpa, what's for supper? And stellar core. Stellar core. Are you the core of a star? That's a good name, Stellar Core. And Okanagan Mike says, who saw Mike Lindell election bid? I haven't seen that. There's a lot of stuff going around, guys. A lot of stuff. I'm going to do a video about food prices. One of you guys asked me to do a food price video, and yeah, China's suddenly making record buys here. As we expected they would. They had some record buys in November, and they just had some more in January. So they're really buying stuff up. So you can expect stuff to really start going up now. Well, Daniel, I was asked, could objects theoretically alternate between the Kuiper belt and the Oort cloud? So for y'all know what he's talking about. I guess I'll just have to use my hands. Here's the sun. Here's the planets. Well, around the sun and planets is a disk of comets. It's called the Kuiper belt. And the comets in the Kuiper belt are pretty much in the plane of the ecliptic for the most part. Outside the Kuiper belt is a sphere of comets. They're further out. They go maybe halfway out to the nearest star. Further out, the longer it takes them to come in and go around the sun. Those are the really long-term comets, but they come from any direction because the Oort cloud is pretty much spherical. Now, sometimes there's a propensity for them to tend to come from certain specific directions, and that's what makes some people think maybe there's something out there, gravitation influence and all that. Astronomers of late have concluded that that might actually be the aggregate mass of all the other Kuiper belt objects causing that, because they can't seem to find anything. So they're trying to figure out some excuse for the fact that they haven't found anything. Which makes me, kind of laugh at this whole Nibiru thing. There might be a big planet out there just hard to see, or really far out, or a neutron star. The bigger the mass, the farther out it would be to create the same effect. So, well, everyone, I finally made a chat under 10 minutes, says Sonia. Thanks to the starting late, right? So the thing is, it would take a lot of change in velocity, what an engineer would call delta V, to move from one plane to another. Now, maybe an object could get further out, but again, that's a lot of delta V. So it would take an enormous amount of energy to accelerate a comet to make a change, a plane change or a velocity change that would cause it to drop in or out. Now, a star or something coming from outside, another body perturbing one of these comets. That's how it makes them come in the first place. They get perturbed in orbit. So they come in close to the sun. And sometimes you might get a new comet that haven't been freshly perturbed by something out there. And you can tell how long their period is based on how fast they're going and how long it takes them to come back around. The interstellar objects are going at speeds that's beyond the solar system escape velocity. That's how you know they're interstellar for the most part. So these comets are in the Kuiper belt in the Oort cloud. It could be that if you decrease the energy in a comet, you could get it into the Kuiper belt, going around the sun in some fashion, made it come around slower, made it around retrograde or something. Or it could be that something passing close enough to Jupiter, if it's passing in the direction of the spin of Jupiter, or whatever, if it gets close enough to Jupiter, you might get an acceleration. It might kick you out to a Kuiper belt. That takes a lot of delta V. But a planet like Jupiter can definitely pack a lot of energy. So there you go. Hope that answers the question there as best as I can. I'm not an astronomer. All right, Troy James, can I buy you a MyPillow work chair? I reckon so. Yeah, this one does squeak a lot. Now, they have work chairs on MyPillow. I find a lot of chairs that break for me. About the only chairs I find that's any good is old used office chairs. The ones I get at the office supply places, I'll break them in like 9 months. It don't last no time. Hi, Morgan, says Valerie Moore. How you doing? And Granny says, questions above Greg. Okay, so that's what Granny asked. I have to go back up. Granny, years ago, I read about a place in a magazine. Greg, was that yours? Years ago, you read about a place in magazine Greg. I've never had a magazine Greg. I don't know that one. Read about a place in magazine Greg. Are you asking if? Okay, maybe I'm reading it wrong. Was there a magazine, Greg, or did you read about a place in a magazine and you think maybe it's mine? I'm not aware of my place being featured in a magazine, but when I was a kid going to school, I had another kid riding the bus all the time, kept telling me that I was in a book. And I would argue, no, I'm not. Nobody said, yeah, you're in a book. So my mama's got a book and you're in it. I said, no, I'm not in your book. And then I argue, oh, yeah, you are. You're in this book. It's my mama's book. And I thought, nah, ain't no book. He brought that book on the school bus and opened it up, and there's a big picture of me holding a poster I drew of a volcano when I was in summer school in the 2nd grade. I go, oh, yeah, that's me. Let me turn it. I got a heater on. I got to turn it down. I'm burning it up. Hang on, guys. So it's always possible that I might be somewhere and not know it. I'll be over there and just not know it, you know. Quantum, quantum tunneling, another dimension. What do y'all think? See, physics does that all the time, people versus state. Equals mc squared times c divided by pi. That's an interesting equation. I got the Space Force pin. Hey there, Dr. G-Man's place. I got that right there. Got on one of my hats too around here. So that's really equals mc cubed. If you got c squared times c, that's equal. That's energy times the speed of light divided by pi. What's that supposed to give you, Dr. G-Man? See, Friends Company got the contract for 4G, 5G, and linear comms. Yeah, I've heard that kind of stuff's coming, but they got to get the moon base going. It's really questionable now how fast that's going to happen, because you know they kind of slowed it down, but now they're recommitting to it for some reason. I'll tell you why they need to do it. It's because if China puts a mass driver on the moon, Daniel knows what I'm talking about. If China puts a mass driver on the moon before we do, they could own space. They could tear our planet up with it. You know, if they were up there by themselves, they could deny entry to space to anyone, and then we couldn't do nothing about it. They could tear us up. We can't afford to let them have the sole ability to have it. The moon is the ultimate military high ground in our solar system. You don't want to let them do that. All right. What's up, sweeps? How you doing? People versus state. Why eat the rich? Feed yourself rather than feed the rich. Yeah, you might get a heart attack eating that stuff, right? You might get a heart attack eating rich folks. So, wow, man, the rich are Soviet green. We will eventually eat them. Space Force coming here to Huntsville. Exactly, exciting times. That's right, Bearded Picker. But you know, they're the congressmen, legislators, the governor of Colorado are all trying to get them to peel, not to send it down here from Colorado Springs. So it's been challenged. Let's hope this, for all you Huntsvillians here, let's hope they stay with it. So the Bearded Pickers here in Huntsville area. Who else is somewhere in North Alabama or South Tennessee? Stellar core. What is the black sun in Russia on a weather cam? Wow, that's a good question for somebody who goes by stellar core. Gorgeous, awesome. How you doing? Black sun. Yeah, you know, some people say that you know, black hole's a black sun, and the center of our galaxy, the massive black hole, is the galactic black sun. You know, I'm not too much into some of the meanings of something, because a lot of people look at that from a spiritual or astrotheological aspect, like Rex Bear would talk. And I'm just not that much into the black sun philosophy, black star, you might call it. I know that what's the musician's name? David Bowie. Yeah, he did a black. One of his last song was Black Star, wasn't it? Tennessee, Southeast Tennessee, says Rebecca. All right. And Amy RG says, good evening, brother. Well, good evening to you. I only got 75 people on here. I guess we're starting late. Maybe that's all. So, gorgeous, awesome. Hi, Greg. When are you going to Arizona? Desert gardens are fun adventure. Squash and melons, love it. Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. Well, I got to get this worm. I got to get taxes done. I got to get my worm farm up and running. And so it's probably going to be after I get this worm farm cranking. If I find somebody else to run it for me, that's when I get loose and come out there. Because I'm expecting to come into some settlement about that time. So I want to go out there and put a well in. I want to go out there and have about 5 100-foot long trenches dug out, about 20 foot wide, to put 2 of them will be for aquaponics greenhouses, and 3 of them will be for worm beds, if I can pull it all off. And somebody else in this chat room is want to help me out there in Arizona. So I'm looking to sharecrop it, and I think this other person She said that she wants to share a copy. So if that's the case, I'm covered. And I've already got somebody to help sell the stuff we grow down in Phoenix, down in southern Arizona, which is a long way to go. Rebel Yell, how you doing, buddy? He says, howdy, y'all. I can say howdy, y'all. I can get that right. That's my native tongue, y'all. People versus state. When I say we need assets, be real. I mean, we the people, not our government, coming from Knox. Just moved here last month from Florida. People versus state. Where you at? People versus state. So you just moved here last month from Florida. Where's here at? So Edmonds. That's like two Eds there. It's like Ed squared. E equals Ed squared. MC. Let's see. Greetings, Greg. My landline rings every day, several times a day, with names on the caller ID. When I pick it up and say hello, second or two pauses, and it hangs up. Oh yeah, that's a computer dialing. Definitely computer. When it waits before it picks up, it's waiting for you to pick up, and it takes a minute for it to switch over to their stuff. And so what it's calling is malfunction, but that's definitely computer dialing. All right, so what's up, Cassandra saying, sorry I haven't been chatting. My neighbor's house is burning. Oh my gosh. Yowks. Valerie, how you doing? Thank you. Oh my gosh. Sweeps. Her neighbor's house is burning right now. How close? Maybe you need to be over there. Keep an eye on your place. Don't let the fire spread. I hope you got some fire people out there fighting. And how far is that house from your place? East Kentucky here, hillbilly country. There you go. My kind of people. Russ says, hi, everybody. Just want to let you all know. All right, Russ. Almost read it. Almost read it. Come on, guys. Don't keep our language clean in here, guys. We do have young people coming here sometimes. And Granny Lana says, I read about a glass type house that grow food. Oh yeah. Well, I got this concept from my universal habitat. I've done several videos on it, and I just did one a few days ago, the greenest concept ever. Let's see, you guys need to check it out. Let me pull up my channel on the computer so I can show you what's there. If you've missed it, you need to see it. This is probably one of the best concepts I've ever had. And it's related to several other concepts I've brought on here. So, what battery going here? You'll see it. Let me change my screens here on my main computer here. I need to just put this laptop in front. Right here it is. It's called the greenest concept ever. That's the name of the video. Oh shoot. Got something way of it there. Bring it back up to you. Yeah. And a little dialog box that opened up, hiding what I was trying to show you. Greenest concept ever. I could pull it up. I could do a share screen and pull it up that way too. It's probably the best way to see it. Let's do that. Yeah, let me open up this thing. I don't want to share it. Oh, yeah, we could do the nested windows. Y'all like that? You want to see nested screens? Just for fun, just for giggles? Let's do that. Just for giggles. Let's do a big nested screen thing. Just going to give us a nested screen approach here. No, maybe not like that. Might if I go into my other laptop now. So yeah, we're getting some nesting going on, aren't we? This will already nest us up. Uh-oh, what happened? There we go. Should in a minute it should go nest a bunch of screens, right? There we go. Is that funny? Woo! All right. Gotta have a little fun, guys. I like to do some fun stuff sometimes, craziness. All right, so what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go in here and look at, I'm gonna get off this. What am I looking for? I was gonna show you, oh yeah, I'm gonna show you my videos in a minute. Oh yeah, this is, you ever watch Steve Turley? He's an interesting guy. Turns out Greta getting herself in some trouble. Wonder why that would be. Here we go. Yeah, I'm down on my video. See that? I got to get more out. It's just hard to do it. Here we are. So I had this one. It probably needs a little help. Yeah, we definitely need some help on these with this one, right? So this is what I'm talking about right here. Greenest concept ever. So guys, you got to watch this because I'm talking about my habitats from the side of what they'll do for us on the green end of things. But it's green in a good way, in an independence way, in a way that's will fight the Great Reset. That's what that's all about. So, of course, if you know, all you got to do is click over to see the other videos in the playlist or see all the videos on the channel. You just come up here where it says video and click that. Now, some channels I can scroll all the way down, but it won't let me go more than 4 months back on this thing. Look at that. Friday, green Greg's and ham. Never heard of that. Kind of knucklehead puts out a video called that. So here we are. Now, if you can sort them by date added, but the oldest first. And sometimes that might be the way to find some of my better videos. That was my original video, and that one really was stunk. So my next video was on aquaponics. That one was aquaponics. That one and that one's on aquaponics. And then I started into microgreens. That was my dad. Well, that one's aquaponics. Yeah, I was really thinking about making my video channel either aquaponics centric or microgreen centric. But folks got mad at me when I started posting all these pea videos and different things like that. So I got a bunch of videos filmed on microgreens I never even posted. I started getting a lot of complaints, so I switched. How's that picture look, guys? Mind blown by Yellowstone. I was having a little fun with the thumbnail there. I'll stop this share. So let's get back in and see what everybody's saying. In fact, I'm going to go to my laptop. Make it easier for me to keep up the chat room. So give me a second here. All right. Am I going to the flea market tomorrow? Well, considering it's 12:09, it's now Saturday, so I'd say probably yes. Not anymore. I watched Steve Turley. Cool. So I'll be going actually Sunday morning. Winter is great in Sun City, 75 today. Oh yeah, where's Sun City at? Florida or Arizona, southern Arizona, somewhere like that. Where is Sun City? What have I missed here? Oh, I missed a bunch of comments here. The space of vacuum, just wondering. Yeah, of course, it's got stuff scattered through it, but it's a better vacuum you're going to pull in any vacuum chamber here on Earth. Yeah, the stuff that's scattered is pretty widely scattered. It's all three. It's 3 blocks away, but there are cinders blowing around. Oh, all right, sweeps. Hope you're checking and make sure nothing's going on your roof. People versus state. Sorry about my grammar and spelling. Never did I do a good job, but I'm an engineering class math. Hey, buddy, I know that. It's hard for us engineers to spell. That's my weakest thing, spelling. And I can't hardly type worth a hoot anyway. Oh yeah, apple juice. What's going on here? So, Richard Bell, let's see. Tom Murray, where is the lunar lander? Is there a lunar lander unaccounted for? No. Goes with colonize Venus first video. Yep, there you go. It does. It actually goes to colonize Venus first video, which is on my Galactic Greg's channel. Real girl interested in Richard. I saw I just swallowed some apple juice and saw your post. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Sweeps is back. You back already? I hope you run around the house and make sure there's no embers on your roof. Greg, I've been waiting all week to get your opinion on something. By the way, awesome podcast this week. The question, why does it seem like everybody's in a hurry to change things in the world? That's a good question. It's because it's not everybody, but the powers that be definitely seem to be in a hurry. The question is, why are they such a hurry? It's not they're running out of time. It's not their deadline. They have their system fully in place. It's 2030 for some reason. Now, there's some people opining their ideas, what they think is driving at. David DeMine has a lot of ideas, but what is it? And gorgeous, awesome. Winter is so boring. Yeah, well, hey, I lived in Alaska when it was like Christmas card 9 months out of the year. Yeah, it starts to get boring. It's nice to start with, but 9 months of living in a Christmas card is pretty interesting. So, but it makes things different, right? So what else we got? Y'all hit the thumbs up. Thank you, gorgeous, awesome. I appreciate that. Richard Bell, I want to try to make a video from my homestead this weekend on my channel. That's good. Connie Lingus, how you doing, Connie? Yo, all right, Roll Girl from Tennessee. Oh, I just missed where to go. Oh, we got our tribe in Arkansas confirmed, guys. We have a confirmed tribe in Ozarks now. Just letting y'all know. Wayne's Worm Farm. How you doing? How's your worms doing, Tiffany? All right, hang on. I got this thing. That's not scrolling with the hoot. If it burns down, I won't have to renovate the bathrooms. Well, that's a positive attitude. That's funny. That's a positive. Talk about a positive attitude. Well, my house burns down, I won't have to renovate the bathrooms. Wow. Well, I always tell everybody, no matter how bad it gets, no matter how tough the going is, there's always a silver lining around every mushroom cloud. 55th light. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we could use a few more thumbs up. We got 89 in the room. Now we got 59 lights, 60, 92 in the room. Okay, so people are waking up and coming to scratch. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Connie, good seeing you. So, new days, old ways. Greetings from Maine, Rocket Man. How you doing there from Maine? Yeah, I had a buddy from Maine came visited me not too long ago. Let's see. And Scratch is saying, hello, Connie. I'm having I got a drinking problem. I'm drinking both tea and coffee. I could turn them up to the phone. I said, the cups are kind of low. There you go. You can see them. You can see them. I hope I don't spill them. Tea and coffee. I need something cold. I drink the tea. When I need the pert, I need some kick octane in the gas. It's coffee. I think I better drink the coffee sooner. It's starting to get cool on me. There's such thing as iced coffee. That's not it. Scratch, how you doing, buddy? How's things over in England? P7, what's P7? Connie, what's a P7? Oh, Hillbilly, do you have any tribes in okay, what is your, Hillbilly, Kentucky? I've got somebody around I may have somebody around, what do you call it, Paducah area. But I got to confirm. There's a strong possibility. If y'all not emailed me at info at, you can either email me at info at freedomrestorationfoundation.org or I can still take email. In fact, I don't hardly read that. I'm leaving that for another lady to check. Email me at halfispace@aol.com. I hadn't checked that one in a while either, if I think about it. So is that your part A, B, human fertilizer? We humans make fertilizer. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but sweet tea. No, my tea ain't sweet. That's what's popular in the area, though. A little moonshine, that coffee, says real well. My mother used to make tea so sweet, if you stuck a spoon in, I believe it stands straight up. Oh, Pyramid 7. I got it. I'm sorry. Cold and wet, says Scratch. So yeah, the tea is cold and wet. It's not sweet though. It's the typical thing in this area is to have sweet tea. I kind of went away from it years ago, and I don't want it anymore. Wrong end of the state. Ah, okay, you're over on the other side. Okay. Well, got a spreadsheet. Hang on. So what I got in Kentucky? I've got my spreadsheet. I got it open, and I talked a good bit with a lady from Arkansas. So I put out several phone calls, and folks are slow to call me back. So let me scroll down to Kentucky. Now we've got, I got a lady who's still adding names to the list, and I don't have the latest list, but I got one. I've got formatted. I got it organized in the tribes. I've got people that got land. Okay, there's 2 prospects in Kentucky. Bowling Green. Okay, one was Bowling Green. Where's the other one at? I said Paducah. I was wrong. Bowling Green. The other is, well, they got land. They got 70 acres. It just says Southern Kentucky. I don't get where in Southern Kentucky it is. They've not called me back. People don't like to talk on the phone, but I think to get people set up in this, I think a phone conversation is what I need. Well, yeah, I do have a Kentucky child. That Bowling Green is a good tribe. That one is a go. Now he's tempted to relocate, but that's pretty much a go. So I got Bowling Green, Kentucky. We've got the Ozarks. I've got me in Alabama, and another guy in Alabama. He's not on the list, but he's still got one. We've got, I have one in Texas. I got to talk to this guy. He says he's already member one. So we got some stuff shaping up. In Texas, we're looking at, where's this at? Ludwig, Texas. Of course, Texas is so darn big. I ain't got no one on the West Coast. I had a lady who was on the West Coast, said she was looking at buying land. If she'd got the land, I'd have considered it. But she's changed her mind and she's moving this way. So yeah, she was really looking at some land that was in a remote location in California. So that might have been our West Coast tribe, but it didn't pan out. I think we may wind up with something up in Maine. Maybe a couple groups. Maine is a lot like Alaska in many ways. The funny thing is, Alaska, if you live in Alaska, you're bugging out just by default. If you're in Alaska and you're living in a bug out place, you are in bug out. Let's see here. Let me switch back to my screen where I can keep up with the chat as I open the spreadsheet. So I'm watching the chat on my laptop. Here we go. Uncle Greg, when you doing more gardening videos? Well, probably in the springtime. Maybe soon. I'm probably going to start planting some. I got to start doing some planting in the greenhouse. And I'm actually waiting on, is Vicky in the room tonight, or she's probably asleep? Do we have Vicky in the room? Vicky's heading this way. And I got somebody else that may be coming this way too. I need to call them. So I found my drone charging. What was your drone? I got a drone. I've never put it together. I've never tested it out. I hadn't had time to figure the thing out. I got about 3 items that I bought, I thought I'd use, and I just hadn't had time to figure out how the darn things work. Got no time in my life. I just woke up, says Scratch. Valerie Moore. I'm married. Was married before to a Nez Perce Indian man. We hunted and fished with our horses. My husband is a nurse and into ATVs. Okay, Valerie. That's interesting. Most interesting. And Frozen World. Greg, I'm having trouble getting emails, so I was wondering. So Frozen World, my emails with the tribe stuff. Yeah, we got a huge backlist we're still trying to work out. Well, the first person that started working it for me was trying to organize things, but instead of realizing I could do all the organization and sorting in the spreadsheet, the individual created like a zillion different directories and scored all these different emails in different directories. And that just made it harder to go through and find everything. Instead of helping, it actually had the opposite effect. It kind of backfired. So that kind of slowed us down. But I've got somebody that's more able that's in terms of spreadsheets doing that job now. What part of Arizona are you in? It's going to be south of I-40, Snowflake, Arizona, in the eastern side of Arizona, Connie. Makes it closer to Denver, right? Let's see. I have to get up to Colorado some on occasions. Got a lot of friends up there. So let's see. Sonia, anyone in Montana? All right, let me open the sheet again. It means if I'm opening the sheet, I'm not seeing my chat session, guys. Montana, what we got in Montana? Scroll down. Now, my list is not really the latest list. This list is no, I'm not showing anybody in Montana on this list. I don't mean there are not some there. I've got one individual in Maine that sounded pretty interesting, but I think I got somebody else in Maine too that's not on this list. So, I should close down my everything. Hang on, guys. And a Hoots, I can't how you pronounce that. Hootsodal. I'm a social and I'm in social and willing to get some folks together here. I've gotten gardens and worm farms. All right. So if you want to start a tribe, if you like to have people come and be part of yours, or you want to join a tribe, either way, email me. Email and like I said, I got a lady that's collecting this, and the email that we got people sending stuff to now is info@freedomrestorationfoundation.org. You can still use Hal5space at AOL.com. And email links, the email address is underneath both. Most of my videos, some of you mods might want to paste it in here. Cool, I went to school in Flagstaff, says Connie. Wow, yeah, well, okay, well, Flagstaff is further away from Denver than I'll be by a little ways. Not by a long shot, but by a little ways. Yeah, Flagstaff's beautiful. I've been there. Katie Cat here in Maine, Rocket Man. Ah! How you doing, Katie? Okay. You interested in being my tribe in Maine? Are you back in Maine or are you in Florida? Where are you at? I have a small worm farm, says Benny. That's good. New days, old ways. I didn't know what your handle was on here, girl. Rosenwald. Greg, do you have any updates on the 2A sanctuary states as far as who is confirmed and who is still in limbo? Well, nobody to my knowledge has got it passed yet. Mississippi had started a bill last year, and that bill died. But last year, things weren't like they are this year. We've got, we have legislation, and we're drafting for Alabama right now. And through our Freedom Restoration Foundation, my vice president is a lawyer. And he is drafting the legislation based on the Mississippi bill. And our intent is to get it out to the other states. So the Freedom Restoration Foundation email address is for both oh, you're at home. Good, good, good. Yeah, I didn't know who New Days Always was. I thought I'd see a cat. Maybe there is a cat in there. With my eyeballs. So it's hard to see. There's a logo. So the Freedom Restoration Foundation email, I'm using it for both just to make it a little simpler. My person collecting emails. So if you put information, if you put freedom in the subject line, that means to us you're interested in the Freedom Restoration Foundation. If you put tribes, that tells us you're interested in tribes. You can put both, and there's going to be a lot of overlap. All right, New Days Always. That don't look like a cat to me. I can't tell what it is. I just see a red dot in the middle. So, Pyramid 7, mobile tribe could be useful. Looking at RVs. Oh, there you go, Pyramid. Well, I've got my bus to build out. When I get a little money, I plan to build that bus out. It's going to be a few months. Yeah, I'm tight on the money right now. Will you trade sage for turmeric? Well, maybe. Got to figure out what would be a good trade, how you price that stuff. Most of my turmeric's still on the ground. You can leave it in the ground and not harvest it. But if you wait too long, you lose the stalks. You don't know where it's at. If you get a lot of snow and ice. Okanagan Mike says, thanks, Greg. Okay, what did I do that was worthy of the thanks? What did I do that's worthy of the thanks? You still with us, gorgeous awesome? For those of y'all that hadn't seen it, this is what Gorgeous Awesome made me. Woden's Wooden Wand of Wonders. And cast a spell on you. That's Shungite. Shungite. Look at the copper work. Why don't you look at this copper work, guys? Look at that. Look at that scrolly section. Spirals. Isn't that pretty? This wood is apple. This is, yeah, it looks like a bone, somebody told me once. No, this is apple wood. And they told me it's an apple for the teacher because I taught them so much about growing stuff. And it's kind of shaped like a, you know, this is like a pistol magic wand. So I could probably have me a long one, and now I got a pistol version too. Shoot a spell at you. Bzzz. Bzzz. A get well spell. Because I'm into good stuff. All right, so sage surrounds me, says Granny. That's good. Scratch. Got the Etsy there for Gorgeous Awesome. That's good. That's good. Yeah, they're good. They're good people. And I got, I don't think they're in the room. I think they came in and left probably. That came from them too. All righty. Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. They do great work. They do a lot of work with crystals. Daniel Tweet just bought a ham radio. Did you get one, Connie, or did he get one? What are you saying? So here it rotates. I could do a drill like this. So you get a piece of bent wood, make you a little auger. Do that. You could do some drilling. Wouldn't be have a little vibration in the hole. And EMU. Lots of work. I have an emu, like it's a bird, a boyd. They say emus taste like beef, not like chicken. So damn, you can operate without a license in emergencies. There you go. Brandon lives in the high desert in Utah. What part of Utah are you in? Gorgeous Awesome. Look, says looks happy. Yeah, look what I got here, Gorgeous Awesome. So yeah, we just had Scratch or somebody just posted your Etsy site for everybody. Yeah, an emergency. If it's real bad, like the whole grid goes down, and there's not going to be anybody to enforce anything. About another ham radio a couple of days ago. Made a video with it. Okay, Scratch, good. A gigantic omelet. That's an inspiration for a drill. Just get you a knife point, something sharp, and you could work it back and forth if you got a handle. Make it easier than trying to run a spindle, unless you got a bow to run the spindle, right? That'd be the ultimate way to do it. Maybe I should do that. Birmingham, let's see. Greg, what do you think of Birmingham, Alabama? Birmingham's an old town, kind of run down. It's currently the biggest city in Alabama. There's a fair bit of money there. A lot of my high school buddies went there for better jobs. That's where they went instead of where I went, but because that's the more finance jobs, the phone system. But I went for the rocket side. So I grew up on Sand Mountain. Sand Mountain's about halfway between Birmingham and Huntsville. Most of my friends did go to, or high school friends, a lot of them went to Birmingham. And I came up here. North Alabama here, high neighborhood. Hey, where in North Alabama are you, Rena? We're just talking about Alabama here. We're talking about Birmingham and Huntsville. So let's see, I can go block and cut you all the sage. There you go. So scratching, I'm in need of instruction. I had two mountain lines that came up. Oh, two mountain lines. Okay, Richard Bell, where are you located? You may have already told me once. Are you one in Kentucky? See, we have no idea where to start. I've been looking at long range. Okay. Some of you, Tuscumbia. Okay. Hey, did you know there's a moon tree in Tuscumbia? Tuscumbia has a moon tree from Apollo 14. Apollo 14 was, they landed on the moon 50 years ago on the 5th. It's the 6th now. They splashed back down in the Pacific on the 9th. But Stuart Roosa, who was on board the command module that was going around and around the moon. Yeah, here's the moon. So Stuart Roosa was on his command module going around the moon. He had hundreds of tree seeds. Some of you may know Lee Wilbarger. He's trying to set up a network of radios for communicating, kind of like a stand-in for the internet. So he's going to have a major prepper broadcast system. We have cougar here and coyote and bear. Sad about your last loss of livestock. I walked up on one once. Darn lucky I didn't get ate. But I froze and moved like a glacier to get away. I live on Highway 89. Okay. So Granny's in the high desert of Utah. I would go in, I'd fly into Salt Lake City and go up and stay in Ogden. And then I would go work in Promontory, which is, almost to Idaho. Promontory is where the railroad tracks met and where they drove the golden spike. But they didn't leave that golden spike in the ground. I know, I went looking for it. Guy by the name of Mark Hopkins is the guy who drove the spike in the ground, by the way. I just happen to know the guy, Mark Hopkins, who I'm not as much fond of. But there's Daniel Tweet probably knows that the Mark Hopkins I'm referring to. We used to, in the National Space Society, my nickname for him was Darth Hopkins. Let's see. By a prison. Uh-oh. You live by a prison? I don't know if I'd want to be living next to a prison. Prepper internet's a great idea, he says Daniel. We've got mountain lions and bears take out our chickens here in Colorado. Oh yeah, electric fence around. Yep, I bet. So, mine Harriet Sharon. These videos at Scratch. The golden spike is in a museum. Oh yeah, I imagine so. They have a little museum there, but I doubt they'd leave the golden spike out there. That'd be worth too much. We've got coy wolves. Oh, okay. So Stepper's, where are you located? Oh, we have bobcat. Yeah, there's a lot of bobcats around this area. Oh, hillbilly, we've got a tree from the Apollo mission here in the neighborhood called Moon, Kentucky. Yeah, there's a bunch of them around. I just did that video from, I'll show you, let me show you guys galactic grids. Hang on. I'll do a screen share. If y'all hadn't seen it, y'all got to check out galactic grids. If I can get the screen share going. Here's my Green Greg's channel. That's my oldest, that's my first video, my second video, my third video, fourth video. And all right, so yikes. I don't know if I switch accounts here, if it's going to mess up the live stream. I don't want to do that. We'll just type it in. So I don't know if me switch it might blow out the live stream. I don't know if it's dependent on that or not. So let me just type it in. Oops. I hit the wrong thing. Georgia. I can't type. Oh, shuckins. Going to comic book place. Hang on. Shuckins. In that one. Come over here and do it. Gotta use the YouTube bar to do it. There it is, right there. Yeah, this channel don't get nearly, it's not got as many subs, nowhere near as many. That's my views. The blue line is my views on green Gregs. The red line is the view on galactic Gregs. So I don't get near as many views, but I got some great content here. Apollo 14 and moon trees, 50th anniversary. Property rights in space. Starship SN9. Yeah, I'm talking about, Daniel, you'd probably like this video if you haven't watched it already. FAA versus SpaceX sea launch Starship. And if you want to see everything, just go over and click videos if you don't want to look at the playlist. So here's that video that Daniel was talking about. Colonize Venus first. Highly recommend that one. Cruise, and ISS news. So I got alliteration and rhyming both going there. That's my style. These guys are in node 2. I did the wiring in node 2, but that's mine. That is my node. That was the last anniversary of a man landing on the moon. So that was over a year ago, a year and a quarter ago. Telling Elon why he should move his operation to Alabama. I think I told him that more than once. There's an older video about my habitat. This moon rocket video is doing really well. And who's that guy? Yeah, I've got my oldest two videos that actually were my most successful videos delisted because it brought more attention to the lady who was the speaker than she wanted. She was getting a whole lot of attention. So if you go back and hit home, you'll see the playlist. I still got to do a little organization on playlist in this channel. Air turbo rocket. It's kind of a solid. Who's that guy walking around there? Holy smoke. Saturn V moon test stands. So the playlist are, let's see, that's just whatever I posted last. Propulsion launch vehicles, prospects for life in space, space history. Yeah, I need to add a few more. Look at there who I've got listed some other channels. You know any of these guys? So I should be putting all the other space channels on here, like Scott Manley maybe. What about it with Felix? You ever watch him, Daniel? So let's stop this share. Hey, hello. Let me see what you guys are saying. All right. Greg, read about, then delete. Oh, read about, then delete. What am I supposed to be? Whoop. Oh, I did something. I knocked myself out of this. Oh, I went to Scratch's channel. I must have touched Scratch's name. Scratch has a channel. Now, Scratch identifies as Kermit, so I asked him how come his BMWs are not green. Check out Scratch's channel, guys. So he's got a red one, a red with black roof, a black one. Yeah, he loves his Beamers, Mr. Scratch. Or he's got a bunch of stuff on his radios. Oh, cool, Scratch. Good. Good. I see that. All right. Now let me come back to find a Scratch. Posh handheld. Okay. The gentleman goes, oh, come on, man. Okay, the gentleman, what's wrong, man? Greg, have you visited the Homestead Crater in Midway, Utah? Homestead Crater? No. Don't think so. I lived in Heber. Old guys. I used to go up to, I haven't been around a whole lot in Utah, mostly between Promontory and Salt Lake City, though I'd stay usually in Ogden, and I'd go up to Huntsville, Utah, and go to the Shooting Star bar. Used to go to it because that was the oldest continuously running bar in the United States. Anything the actual icon or Kenwood, you won't go far wrong. I used to have a 23 channel CB. I wish I still had it because I had more power in these other CBs. I like about $150. Okay. Let's see. Whoops. Accident. I shouldn't be using watch my touch screen here. Recent galactic posts are awesome. Well, thank you, Steffers. Thank you. Maybe I could share them because I'm not getting so many views over there. Connie says, and some ghosts. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, we've been in the main rebel, yeah. I have to get more of that in the future. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back if I missed a bunch of comments. Sonali. Our friend Sonali from India is with us. She is in India right now, and she has to suggest buy gold or silver. Gold might be storing more value. I don't know if silver is really going to go up. There's still a fair glut of it, but I like silver because back here, at least here in the United States, when we had the Great Depression, they made it illegal to own gold. They went around and collected gold. That's probably how they filled Fort Knox up at the time. It's probably all gone now. But I kind of like silver myself. I have a little bit, but it may a lot of people are always telling you silver is going to go way up, but it never does. Maybe a little bit, but it's pretty good at maintaining value because I don't know how. If the currencies crash, all the metals will go up, and some people are really saying the currencies will crash. Ghosts didn't follow me when I moved. Occasionally, orbs is all. Okay, Connie, we had ghost. Ghost may be location specific, and them little grays, they will follow you. I have a channel that consists of me vacuuming my cat. Oh, that's interesting. That's funny. I've always said, if you want to make money, start a cat channel. I've got a couple of cats. Maybe I need to do that. I'm not really threatening to do it just for the heck of it. How they survived the Van Allen belt. Hey, I've actually talked to Van Allen. He's dead now. Van Allen's in that Von Braun picture with Jack Parsons and Von Braun, and I forget who the other person is, holding up the Explorer 1 satellite, the first satellite we put up. And one of my friends actually built part of the electronics for that in his garage, and he's dead now too. Now it's Ernst Stullinger. He was a top scientist with the German team from originally. So the Van Allen belts are thickest at the equator. And so what they did is they went up over them. They went over them, and they went through them fast. So they didn't get that much exposure. But they're a lot stronger at the equator and thicker, especially like the man-made belt. It's just a tiny belt inside, but they're thicker at the equator. You can go over and get away from most of that trapped radioactive material. If you got enough shielding, you can go straight through it, even slowly. That's what Gerard Cale Nell proposed, was to have an electrical engine system that used a mass driver and a thickly shielded habitat just to go back and forth straight through the Van Allen belts. It'd been the lowest energy approach, but so they had some Delta V. When I talked about Delta V earlier, talking with Daniel here, but they went over the Van Allen belts. So. Yeah, we could put satellites out there in geosync all the time. They go through the Van Allen belts to get out there. Right, Van Allen belt is a belt. Van Allen is a belt, not a sphere. Exactly, Daniel. Exactly. Not long to spring. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's time to start planting, guys. Time to get your seeds. Go to some of my links and go to True Leaf Market. Use my links and buy your seeds from them. It'll help me and help you too. So they tell you how to grow stuff too. Frozen World Greg, what do you think about these two things? One, Elon and his plan for trips for citizens to orbit and his brain chips. Now, wait a minute. That's all in one. Two, I think that's two different things. His trips to orbit and brain trips. See, you asked me more. And two, what is this huge debris field that they say we're going through in the next couple of years? And a retardo commentator says, halo. So, okay, you've asked about three things there. So Elon Musk is building what he calls Starship. Starship, hey, let me get you something. Hang on. Yeah. I got a Starship. Hang on, guys. This is a good analogy for Starship, really and truly. So Starship, a complete Starship would be a two-stage system. The first stage he would call super heavy, and the upper stage is the wing thing. The first stage would land back on ground, kind of originally thought like their Falcon 9 rockets that come back down and land. And so will actually the upper stage, but it's got some fins on it, but they're more for air to enable it to do the belly flop maneuver. If y'all seen SN8 and SN9 fly, they did do the belly flop and they did it quite well. I was impressed with that. They just came in too hot and crashed. So what you've been seeing is the top part so far. You've not seen the other piece. Ow! My rocket's getting away from me. Hang on. So let's just say this is Starship. Okay, so it's winged and kind of looks like it. So what you saw is Starship come in and land. It was supposed to come in and land like that, but it came in too hot. Didn't have enough engines burning. They had an engine malfunction, I think, probably in both flights. They probably didn't get enough fuel to the head, to the feed lines for the engines. The fuel probably didn't get down enough. And so they came in too hot and it crashed and blew up. So his plan is to have this as a reusable ship, and the whole system, the super heavy and the Starship, has more fuel and launch capacity, almost twice as much as a Saturn V. It's going to be a huge rocket, entirely reusable, all of it. So his only expense from flight to flight, if he can reuse it several times, the cost per launch really goes down. He thinks he can use the heck out of it once it gets past blowing them up on landing, of course. So his objective is to basically just be the cost of fuel. He says the cost of the fuel to launch one of these things to orbit is like $9 a pound, which is crazy low. Does that mean he can really charge that, or is that really true? He's going to have other costs, operational costs and stuff like that. And, you know, how many flights can he truly make with these things is yet to be seen. So it costs a certain amount of money to build one of these. But the way he's going to be turning them out, they won't be that bad expensive compared to the rockets we've been building. So he's saying that he could carry 100 people up at a time. Now, I've read some accounts that really believe that's more like 50, especially if you want to take them all the way to have enough room to take them all the way to Mars when you look at it per person volume, like you'd have on space station. So the whole idea is that he's looking at launching 2 of these things into full stacks, but one of the Starships would be a refueling Starship, and the other would be a people cargo carrying Starship. So let me find my other one. Did it? Uh-oh, hang on, guys. Making a mess. You got 2 Starships in orbit. One's a cargo and one's people. Let's say this one's people and this one's cargo. He's got a plan to mate them. And they would have docking adapters at the aft end. And yeah, it looks kind of funny, don't it? And so it would transfer fuel from the cargo one to the other one. Then this guy's supposed to have enough fuel to make it all the way to Mars, land, and then it would use the atmosphere of Mars to make fuel for coming back to Earth. And see, Mars is only 1/3 the size of Earth, so it takes a lot less energy to get off Mars and a whole lot less fuel. So you could do that. You could actually come all the way back to Earth from Mars. Now, for me going into Venus, I would have to have another one of these going to Venus to make fuel to help get this thing out of the Venus atmosphere and back to Earth. Maybe another. I've got a plan for how to do Venus. So you basically do double these guys. So Venus is actually a little easier to launch from than Earth, especially if you launch in the atmosphere high up. So I've got a plan for that. and I'll be rolling that out in a future video, maybe a few videos down. My next video is either going to be how to build smaller, my Venus sphere concept. Basically, since they already have the plans for how these guys would dock, that would give me about 300 feet that I could put a jig on, and I could start assembling something and rotating it, and I could build a sphere about 300 foot in diameter, not the mile wide sphere, but that thing would still be incredibly buoyant. So I'm actually laying out the design for a sphere that would be one of the first habitats in the Venus atmosphere, based on using 2 starships floating in the atmosphere. Yeah, these things will float. The atmosphere of Venus has a molar density of 44, whereas Earth's atmosphere is like 29. It's a huge difference. So much so that if you could hermetically seal your house and toss it in the atmosphere of Venus, it would float. Your house would float. It wouldn't sink all the way to the hell below. In fact, the area of the atmosphere it would float in is where you're at the same atmospheric pressure and temperatures as you are here on Earth. So it's beautiful. Venus has got a lot going for it. Got a lot going for it. Yeah, you can mine Venus. There's stuff that will survive the surface temperatures. You can put a drag cable down and pull it on and haul it up, especially if you're using Kevlar and carbon fiber and stuff like that, because their melting temperature is actually a lot higher than the surface temperature of Venus. So much higher. And then there's Venus's atmosphere with carbon. We're going to go more to carbon manufacturing, especially as we move more to a graphene economy. And graphene is a material that I would want to use a lot in these habitats. I think that might be the main thing you're mining on Venus, is just carbon out of the atmosphere and getting it graphene. So anyway, I think I went way beyond the question asked. I got way out. Did I go too far out? I only got 78 in RAM. I'm scaring people off. Sorry about that, guys. So let's see what folks are saying. Yeah, I didn't know I really am a space guy, guys. Rapid unscheduled disassembly. Yeah, that's what it is. When it goes boom. RUD. Let me scroll up and see what I've been missing. I'm here yapping my gums. You guys have been typing. Oh, yeah, Van Allen belt. We have about 30 more UFO every night. Oh, Randy, seen a lot of UFOs there in the high desert. Well, if you can see them anywhere, it'd be in the desert, or this unobstructed view. There's my Greg. What do you think about these two things? Oh, yeah, that's what I started on right there. So I answered part of it. Elon's trips. I didn't answer it all. So I explained how Elon is planning to get people to Mars. What to do there is a whole different thing, but also he's talking about using these starships for point-to-point travel on the surface of the Earth. So instead of getting an airplane and traveling for hours and hours and hours, you spend 1 hour and you go from New York to Tokyo. But it probably cost you about $2,000. But then again, that's first class flight, right? So there'll be a lot of takers for that. Plus they're basically getting a suborbital space, some zero G and seeing Earth from way up. If he pulls that off, that'll end the flat Earth theory. Let's see here. Haven't seen Sweeps in for. Hope she's okay. Oh, good point. Good point. Maybe she's down here below. Yeah, our neighbor's house is on fire. Galactic plane crossing. Oh yeah, I still didn't finish answering this question. So you asked me a tough question. So you asked about the chips. Chips are good to eat, aren't they? So he's got this thing called Neuralink. Years ago, people started saying that AI was going to take over. I looked at AI and said, well, AI is a tool created by people for people. It's a human creation. Yeah, it may learn to self-repair and do all that stuff like that, but it's created for the purpose of serving people or somebody. Now, it might be a takeover for most things, but there's going to be somewhere in AI. I don't believe AI will ever be sentient. It may mimic being sentient. It could look like it's sentient. It could act like it's sentient. But unless they have massive neural networks involved for the computing system, the basic building block in a computer is what you call an arithmetic logic unit. So your computers, except for neural networks, can only accomplish one thing. They add ones and zeros. And technically, that's a mathematical description of what they're doing. But actually, all they're really doing is correlating high and low voltages according to Boolean algebra mathematics rule for adding. Now, if you want to multiply, you add a lot more. If you want to subtract, you add a negative. If you want to divide, you add a lot more of those. And everything we know in software is built on top of that. It's the most fundamental thing, ones and zeros. So qubits give you more letters in your alphabet, which is cool. More than just a 1 to 0. You can do a whole lot more. But plus they get them quantum states, kind of reaching into the other dimensions. So qubits are kind of strange business, but so something that can only at its core add ones and zeros. I mean, you may be doing a whole lot of it, but how do you get consciousness out of that? But from our level, it would be almost impossible to discern the difference because it's so sophisticated in how it does it. But it's still a tool of people. So I would wager that somewhere behind the curtains, there's a Wizard of Oz pulling the strings on it. You know, programming this place, maybe not lifting strings, but programming. Somewhere there's a Wizard of Oz behind the curtain in a system like that. Now, as I get in sophisticated neural nets down the road, yeah, you might get into something. But will it have a soul? No, not unless something breathes a soul into it. Of course, you know, there's Revelations talking about the statue that life was breathed into and it would talk. Maybe it got a daemon in it. So there is, but see, my thought also was the way humans would keep up with AI. And I thought this a long time ago. I said, well, I told one of my friends, I said, look, electronics is shrinking. It's getting closer and closer and closer to us. And this is around early 2000. I had a little pocket computer called the OQO. You can look it up. It would fit in my pocket and it had more power than my laptop. And so, you know, that was pretty obvious that the stuff was shrinking smaller and smaller and getting closer and closer to us. And so I was telling people eventually it's going right in the old beam. And I've considered that, you know, eventually the way, I didn't think it'd come this fast. The way we would compete with AI was we would become part of the machine. We would have that capability within us and be able to communicate with it. Hopefully we wouldn't be like owned by it and orchestrated through it, which could be the case. But, you know, I have concerns about that. And, you know, so I said that would be why AI wouldn't take people over. And Elon Musk actually proposed this system for that very reason. His proposal for Neuralink was to help people compete with AI. The problem with the whole thing, though, is who controls it, who writes the operating systems, who's running this stuff. Do they have a back door? Can they hack you? Answer will probably be yes. Look, that's everything else is running. That's the problem with the whole thing. If you could have it and have total control and autonomy, it might not be that bad, but the way they're implementing it's got a lot of concerns for me. Basically, they're just taking these fiber optics and they're just jamming them down into your brain. And I'm going, yeah, what happens when you start spearfishing for neurons, jamming these things in and out? You know, something about that I don't like. And it's also, I did a couple of videos about the hive. I said the ultimate hive is when they put it right in here and connect you up to everything else. And you could be the board. So that's my ultimate concern with this whole thing is they'd come up with something, even if you thought you had autonomy, you probably won't, and they'll have a back door and somebody's going to hack you. Even if they didn't mean to in the beginning, some snot-nosed kid in grandma's basement who's really good at the software will figure out how to hack this thing. He'll become the queen bee of the universe and everybody else will be his mind-numb robotic zombies. So that's the hive. That's where you don't want to go. See, this is a step toward the hive right here. Social engineering as implemented in China is a step toward the hive. So it's a slippery slope into the hive. And that's, Daniel, you're all into transhumanism. So what do you think about that? What keeps us from falling in the hive and becoming controlled by some feudal lord or some snot-nosed kid in grandma's basement? What's going to keep that from happening? Let's see. Now, the last question in this series was huge debris field. You had Steve Ben-Nun from Israeli News Live was back last summer, or last year. He was saying, he's talking about last September. He says, he said, I have intelligence sources in NSA and the Pentagon. And they tell me unassuredly, they've got the knowledge, they know this, it's a matter of fact, that we've got a debris field coming in. And he said it's going to be vast. He said the number of asteroids are going to increase, and we're going to start getting hit by asteroids, and we're going to see planet Nibiru. And he said, come the month of September, no one on Earth could deny that the debris fell in Nibiru. So in the month of August, I did a video and I said, Nibiru comes not this way. And why did I say that? Because if you go to my Facebook site, I've really probably about 2,000 astronomers as Facebook friends. If you watch me at the farmers market on the videos when I go to the farmers market on Saturday, about half the time, one or two astronomers or friends of mine come up and talk to me. If you've seen my Power Grid Defense website, you'll notice I had several astronomers speaking at that event. I know lots of astronomers, and they don't all work for NASA. Some of them are backyard astronomers. Some work for other agencies. Some work for other governments. Some work for private industries. Some work for, they're just independent. And there's various levels of observatories all over the place, and there's student astronomers. And I see repeatedly, there's several answers. I would see repeatedly students and amateur astronomers, especially amateur astronomers, discover a lot of the comets that are coming in. And when they usually find them, most things are all the way out at Jupiter. So they see these things way out there. And a comet is not as big as a planet or a star. And they see them way out there at Jupiter. Well, it takes, even the channel at speed comets are coming, it takes them, several months, to get into the inner solar system from there. So, a comet would see, to go around Earth, you got to be, the delta V is about 17,500 miles an hour. To go to the moon, you got to be going on about 25,000 miles an hour. To get out to the asteroids, about 45,000 miles an hour. Some of these comets are traveling at 75,000 miles an hour. If something is coming from outside the solar system, like a mile, it's going to be traveling in excess of 75,000 miles per hour, typically speaking. And that's how you know this thing is coming from way out there. So Stephen Balloon was talking about stuff coming really from interstellar space. All the comets and asteroids we still see are within that 40,000 mile per hour range. Or it's the same delta V level. And that's how we know they are the ones that's been right here amongst us all along. It's not a new debris field. In fact, the only thing we've seen was that comet that had a Borisov or whatever its name was, sounded like a Russian name, and a Mau Mau with a Hawaiian name. They're the only two. Although it's also thought there may be some other objects in our solar system, some old dead comets that may have actually be interlopers. I've seen some stuff on that. So it's a case that some people, oh, well, great, it's coming from behind the sun. I hear that. So we can't see it because it's coming from behind the sun. Well, let's use the moon here for an example. Let's play that that's the sun. And this is Earth. Okay. I can definitely use my globe up there for the sun. So Earth's going around and around. The Earth goes around and around the sun. It takes a year to go all the way around. See, the Earth's not the same position relative to the sun. If there was something coming from back here, at some time or another in the year, the Earth's going to be at a position where we would see it coming in. It's not going to be able to stay behind the sun the whole time. The only way would always be opposite of Earth behind the sun is if it's always in the same orbit as Earth. See, like, if you're looking at this way, Earth's here. If you had something over here, it would always be behind the sun. But we got a probe going over the sun now, so we ought to be able to look for that other planet or big UFO that's hiding on the other side of the sun away from Earth, right? And the Earth's sun, L3 point, Lagrange point 3. So that might be a place where there would be something located. But if it's located there, it's not coming. It's already there and been there for a long time. And it's not coming around either. And that's not Nibiru. So I'm not worried about Nibiru at this point in time. Doesn't mean there's not something way out there. I talked about, something might be casting comets in. But it's, if there is something there, it's going to take a long time to come in any further. Now, you might get a comet or something out there that we call it. If the Earth passed close to some large planetary body, or if there's some black brown dwarf out there that distorts our Oort cloud, then it could cause a comet shower to come in. Then we'd be in from the Oort cloud. Then we'd be in a lot of trouble, or the Kuiper belt, either way, if you have something disturbing either one significantly. That could put us, if you increase the flux density comets coming into the solar system from out there, you're in trouble. And that maybe is what happens in these big die-offs. All right, there we go, guys. We put the moon back. For those of you that don't know, 1997 International Space Development Conference, I got this award, Space Pioneer Award for entrepreneurial, because I was in entrepreneurial activities. I started a space company. And you can go on the internet, look up Space Pioneer Award, and see all the recipients of it. There we go. All right, so and that was a 3-part tough question. And I hope I answered, you said 2 questions, it was really 3. Took a lot of explanation, but Frozen World, I hope I answered it. I hope I answered it sufficiently. And Connie says, Rocket Man, he keep crashing it. Oh yeah, well, it's in development, Scratch, it's in developmental phase. So at least he's pointing end up, flaming end down. Excuse me, guys. Well, have you heard Allison's laws of rockets? All right, I missed a bunch of comments. I just jumped. Sweeps is back. Sweeps was back. Let's see here. What did I miss? What did I miss? I'm gonna have to scroll this by hand. Oh my gosh, there's so many comments in here. SI is often used for fear mongering. Okay, Pyramid, what's SI? So System International for Measurement. Wow, y'all got missed a lot of graphene for batteries. Yeah, supercapacitors, essentially Pyramid 7. So it makes a great supercapacitor, which you can use as a battery. Graphene is useful for a lot of things. I just hope we can start manufacturing in large sheets. Victoria, hey, Greg, all as well. Granny, I'll try to send to Greg. What are you trying to send? Granny, they found you. The jig is up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I missed a lot of stuff. Let me scroll back up. All right, now it's rolling left. There was 2 on the pads, and that one took off and crashed. Yeah, they wanted to see if the SN10 could stand the overpressure from the blast. It did, but it might have got a lot of shrapnel hitting it from debris. So I may have to rework some of it. I don't know. Stainless steel, methane, and willpower. You got it, Daniel. Daniel knows a bit about space, guys. He's quite involved in it. So he's a friend to T.A. Heppenheimer. He wrote a book, Colonies in Space. That book was available at the Space and Rocket Center's bookstore in 1978, because that's when I bought it. Right around my birthday. Actually, it was my birthday. My 18th birthday in 1978, excuse me, I bought T.A. Heppenheimer's book. If I got my memory right. Shy Greg. How you doing, Shelly? So I'm gonna scroll through here. See what I'm missing. Granny, what you're sending me? I see you said you're gonna send something to me. Frozen World, thank you for answering my question, and sorry about the three and 2 questions. It's possible in our life to explore other options beside the moon. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm gonna do a video though on galactic grids in a few days explaining why we need to go to the moon though. It's a military high ground, and so if nothing else, that's why we need to go more than anything. So Daniel has probably heard of the book, The Moon is a Harsh Mistress. Could we make it out of Venus gas? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All the CO2 in Venus's atmosphere. There you go. Just mine the atmosphere for most of what you need in Venus. My house is fine. I'm glad. But now that means I'm gonna have to renovate the bathrooms. Get such a humor. Scratch says that's Morse. I suppose you mean Morse and not morose. A Morse code. There you go. Dot, 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 dash, dot, dot, dot. Yeah. AGI does anything a human can someday. I guess you mean AI. It might. So I got to see what Daniel thinks about my Daniel's into transhumanism. Satan is crappy at math, so he can be trapped in a computer, I heard. Well, we don't want to give him any end effectors. If we catch Satan in a computer, let's make sure we don't give him any end effectors. And end effectors are like hands and feet, something you can do something with. As long as he doesn't, isn't coupled with anything that can do anything, might be a good bottle. Like genie in a bottle. Cro-Magnon. Speaking to my hubby and just realized you almost have 50K dubs. Yeah, I'm getting kind of close to it, but it seems like it's really slowed down in front of that 50K. Really slowed down. See, I used to be gaining 2,000 or 3,000 a month. I haven't gained 1,000 subs in several months now. I'm inching up there just slowly. A lot slower than I was. It's, a few hundred a month now, not thousands. No emergency disconnect for Neuralinkers. That might be a good one. Emergency disconnect, quick disconnect. You'd want to have one yourself that you could override the system, shut it down, but can you? What keeps them from taking you over, turning you into a mind-numbed robot? So they want our brains for operation and storing data. I see there's another control to you're right, Scratch. Rex will be jealous, itchy. I guess that's what you mean, separate with the dinosaur there. T-Rex. Damn, doesn't look too promising for humans with runaway tech. Well, like I said, you could compete with it by having the implant if you so choose, or maybe you can escape it. You got to even be in the system. Maybe you get out of the system. When it hit the fan, carry a hackamore everywhere. Never know what you need to appropriate a horse. Oh, hillbilly. What do you think about the Navy's patent on anti-gravity triangle ship? What I think about it? Man, I've laid that out a long time ago. I worked that out when I was in college. Hang on, guys. You ever notice this little board back here behind me? I've talked that on Rex's show. Why do you want to do that? Because of Allison's laws of rockets. Rockets go boom. Rockets have always gone boom. And rockets always will go boom. That's Allison's laws of rockets. So why ride a rocket? You can build one of these. Well, for one, there's going to be some hardcore energy pumping in that system. When you hard X-rays at the core of it, you got to figure out some way to channel that stuff. So they don't zap you to death. That's just it. It may be why the Ark of the Covenant zapped people. Maybe why you had to be careful. Yeah, you got to be careful around some of these things. You don't want to just, if you see one of these things land, don't just walk up to it and touch it. You might be in bad shape. You might be in bad shape. Because the energy, the electronic energy, once the electrons come out to the rim of that thing, when they arc over, it's going to be rough business in the core, on the positive neutral core of that thing. Richard, I don't know if I would call it fear porn. We have lots fly by last year. What did you have flying by? Let's see. Sonic Boom. Fix it porn is the new fear porn. There you go, Danny. You've heard me. Everybody's accusing me of fear porn. I'm saying, I know these videos. I tell you what to do about it. This is fix it porn. I said, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's fix it. I do fix it porn. Should be a t-shirt, right? Fix it porn. You go, huh? I don't know. I'm into fix it porn. and then put Green Gregs on there. So then you try to figure, what is that? It's a YouTube channel, right? I'll make a good t-shirt, right? Fix it porn is better. You're right, Daniel. Fix it porn. Hey, little Duggar says, how you doing? Let's see. YouTube doesn't necessarily enjoy us. Minus self-sufficiency, seeking individuals to be united. Yeah, we have to watch what we say here, don't we? It's not a freedom of speech platform. The pace effect, a very high, a very HF EM torsion field. Yeah, that's what you're going to get if you rotate one of these two. So I need to start taking my new phone outside. I got to go cooking. Okay. Sweeps highlighted Dagger says. Let's see. What we got here? Meteors, says Richard. Oh, you see a lot of meteors. Yeah, if you stand outside at night and look at the sky, you'll see meteors. I'm in love with your brain, Greg, says Granny. I find it coming in handy. Except for when I try to go to sleep, it is just, it's like a What's up, Green Greg, says Brandon. How you doing? Scratch Woodward TV and Scott. I never thought you'd come on a worm farmer's channel and talk about how to build a UFO, how the thing works in its core, about the details of how starships work, landing on the moon, how, you know, Delta V changes, how they can pertain from comet switching from Kuiper belt objects to Oort cloud objects. Yeah, this is a good worm farm topic. Precisely. Wormholes. They're for everybody, especially Santa Claus. How else do you think wizards get around? Wormholes. And best way to make a wormhole is one of those fields down there, torsion, high EM field, sweeping around and around. But the problem with it like that is it's totally symmetrical. You need to make it asymmetrical. To do that, you want to set up some other EM, high EM field points under it. Pantograph generators might be a good way to give it some directionality, but you probably want to have other little torsion, mini torsion systems too. That'd be a way to do it. I need to play with it. Vicky, how are you doing? I'm so concerned that we may need to focus on saving seed this year. Yeah, I've been saying that. Attempts to confiscate commercial seed sources and substitute GMO. Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt them doing that. You're right, Vicky. Hey, Vicky, how are you doing? Good to see you. Vicky, are you got your vehicle up now? You got your new vehicle? I've been meaning to call you. Scratch says, what? That's what it means when you're a jack of all trades. Yeah, UFO mechanic, worm farmer, you know, aquaponics, raised bed gardening. And what's the difference? Well, yeah, I'll talk to you about what's at the core of a arithmetic logic unit for a computer. Yeah, it's worm farming. What's the difference? So good old Mr. Blimmersberger, he's just an electrical engineer. He happens to be a business guy. He's just a poor little billionaire, but you don't understand folks in the center of the country. So I'm an electrical engineer too. We both have the same degree, but where he's over this money lost in getting sucked up into the hive. I'll outsmart the hive. We'll all do it together because why? We have hillbilly tech, the good stuff. Hillbilly tech. See, I speak hillbilly. I know farmers are smart folks. Darn right. I always save seeds, says Richard Bill. There you go. Accumulate seeds for years. Oh, I got a ton of seed here. I just hope they're all still good. I don't have near enough in the freezer. I have some in the freezer. I got a freezer with a bunch of seed packs in it, but got way too much sitting outside. All right, so let's see what Vicky's saying. Thumbs up. Jack of all trades and master of none. Yeah, that's that's the risk. Spread it too thin. Spreading it too thin. That's the risk. I do try to specialize in some areas enough to keep it going, guys. All right. I need some herbal seeds and fruit trees. Okay, Granny. So, all right, we have covered some waterfront tonight. Man, it's nearly 2 in the morning. It's 1:21. But I had a late start. I had other things going. Lots of free range dandelions. That's good. That's good. You know what I do? I do videos on, so we're here talking about high-tech stuff, but I also do, how many videos have I done on just how to go out and eat in the wild, eating the weeds and the trees. You don't know how to eat wheat and weeds and trees, you're going to be in trouble when it's fan. That's skills you need to know. You need to learn that stuff. These dandelions that Connie's talking about, that's a good step. Daniel, Space Billy can survive. Space Billy can survive. Space Billy can survive. Got replacement glasses yesterday. Vehicle parts are supposed to arrive today. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise too high, I'll be on the road next week. Well, good for you. All right. Got it all together now. I suppose you've been staying in the hotel all this time. I imagine that's not been any fun. Scratch. Every time I attempted to grow plants, I failed miserably. Oh, they all died. I even killed a bonsai tree in 6 weeks after being told it was nearly impossible to kill. Oh, yeah, you can kill them. I bought a bonsai tree and left it with a good friend of mine because I wanted to build a subscale replica of my space habitat. And he's a real good diorama builder. And I just couldn't get him cranked up onto it. I was too busy with other things myself. And he let my bonsai tree die. I spent $60 on that bonsai tree, I think. Something crazy, 30 or 60, something like that, one of the two. Richard Bell says, we have good stuff. I bet. Wow, I just had a big comment in here. All right. I can grow those. Rosenworld, maybe this is too far out there. What if a guard stayed and kept cause these storms were a training exercise cause of heart so they could be there to help? Okay, now I'm not sure I'm following you here, mate. What if the guard, like the National Guard, stayed in the Capitol cause the storms were a training exercise? Oh, cause of heart so they could be there to help with the relief. Yeah, I think that's a little far out. What's the whacker for, says Chewy Weather. This is Woden's wooden wand of wonders. This is a pistolier version of the wizard's wand. It's the easy to carry, quick draw wand. If you need to cast a spell in a hurry, she can be the fastest in the West. So a lot faster to put on a point than a big staff. This is Woden's wooden wand of wonders, made by Gorgeous Awesome. It's a gift to me because of my gardening videos, me teaching and telling people how to garden and encouraging them. They actually started gardening quite a bit, and they've got their neighbors into it, all because of stuff I put on my channel, which really impressed me. And in gratitude for that, they built this for me, and they also gave me this and some other things. This is a gift from Gorgeous Awesome, and Gorgeous Awesome was in here tonight. I don't know if they're still here. They do a lot of stuff with crystals and copper. They do beautiful work. They're really good craftsmen. They have an Etsy store. Scratch posted their Etsy store in here earlier. Yep, Woden's wooden wand of wonders. A lot of times I do a little show on Wednesday nights. If I can make it in by 9, if I can't do it by 9, I'd have to call it something else because 9 is Woden's number. And Wednesday is Wodeness Day. And Woden, one of the old names for Woden was Wodennas. So Wednesday, Wodennas, Wednesday Day, Wodennas. Yeah, it's the same thing. So there you go. So give Scratch and Greg a squeeze. All righty, Connie, anytime. Poof. Let's see, Leroy Fox. Scratch, it's a good idea. Now, let me go back and see what Scratch is saying here. Oh, that's what Vicky said. Something says, when Stalin tried to exterminate the kulaks in Holodomor, Russian troops went house to house to confiscate all food and seeds deliberately. Yeah, that's what they do. So they might well do that. Greg, if you had add topic hashtags to all your YouTube videos, you'd be, oh, if you add hashtag topic. So I don't, Daniel, I really am not, I don't do tweet or Twitter. So I'm not really, I never got conversed in hashtagology. Hashtagese. So I don't speak hashtagese because I'm not, I don't tweet and Twitter. So kind of go. Good night, Connie, if you're gone. Pretty little trees they are, says Scratch. Okay, I missed a bunch of stuff. It's just time to get flat. Arnold Smith, Green Greg's High Rocket Man, minus 20 degrees C here in Alberta. Yeah, I've been to Alberta. I've been up in Dawson Creek. I imagine it's pretty chilly up there tonight. What do you think Dawson Creek is there, Arnold? You close to there? I got getting the name right. It's been a long time since I went through there. I thought sandworms make the best wormholes. From Dune, eh? Yeah, that'd be some big wormholes. Yeah, you could fly a rocket ship through one of them probably. It works on YouTube too. Okay, Daniel. So what does it do to put a hashtag in something? Like I have not familiarized myself with that. I've seen people use it. Pay PAMT 99. Purchasing interesting prepping type tool items lately. You know, I've been getting all kind of hand powered tools when we go to the flea market. I'll probably go to the flea market Sunday morning. You can have 2,000 hashtags on YouTube per video. Wow. So I guess that's not tag words. It links in. What's it? They pull in people that's on Twitter. What does that do? Arnold Schmidt, 7 hours away. So that's how far you are from Dawson Creek. Dang, you must be way down in southern Alberta. That's definitely northern Alberta. The head of the Alaska Highway, the bottom of it. Pete McAuliffe, 1983. That's the year I got out of the Army, 1983. Greg, I don't like being a truck driver and I'm not college educated. Any advice? Why not? Is a truck driver so bad? So, yeah, there's plenty of advice. I've done some videos like quarantine living, other things you can do to make a living. There are people that make a good living. Farming, for example. You may have noticed I did a video with a guy named Curtis Stone. He was on my channel once, and this is his book, The Urban Farmer. And a small town in British Columbia, Canada, on a quarter of an acre, he was making $100,000 a year in gross sales. Now, he's turned more prepper. He's left that urban farm and he's moved out. He's into more of the wilds. So he's living in his bug out location now. So he kind of threw the towel in it, but that's what he was able to do. Microgreens are a good way to make money. I've done videos on microgreens. I've done videos on how to make money with worms. I'm not selling worms just yet, though. You have to wait on that. So I've covered that, though, how to make money with worms, how to make money with microgreens. I even said you could start a courier service. And you could do, if you want to drive, you could do it local, especially with everything being locked down. I still think courier service is a good area. There's all kind of things you could do for work from home, all kind of service type jobs you could do, quality assurance. If you're into software, you can make tons of money working from home. One of the best things anybody can do is trades. Learn how to do carpenter work, learn how to do electrician work, learn how to do plumbing. There's a big shortage in these trade skills. There's just a shortage in general in manual labor. Learn how to weld. There are some arts and crafts that could make you money, but you know, you can't just be a basket weaver. You got to pick something that people really need, and it will be in high demand. So one way to make money is just figure out what the heck it is that people need and figure out how to supply it and give it to them. You know, that's called free enterprise. It's the beauty of free enterprise. You use your noggin to figure out what people need, and then you figure out how to get it to them. So, and farming, the big thing is going to be now not selling to restaurants, but consumer supported agriculture. You take it straight to the people. You eliminate the middleman, and you can sell to them and get your retail price, and they get food much fresher than ever get it out of the store. So it's going to have much higher nutritional value, and they're going to know where it's coming from. They don't got all that crap in it, that stuff coming out of the store either. Plus, they don't have to expose themselves to the bugs going around because they're able to be at home and you deliver it straight to them. So this is going to be a growth area in marketing for anything really. You can always set up a 3D printer and make things. You can set up a lathe, get you a CNC machine, learn how to program things, and you can spit out all kinds of metal objects by extractive manufacturing. 3D printers are additive manufacturing. They build stuff up. So there's a zillion things you can do from a shop. Learn how to make stuff. Hey, be a cabinet maker. Do cabinets, do toys, cat products. Start a YouTube channel. Teach classes. Learn any kind of skill and teach class in it. Because these days, people don't know how to do anything. Because all they ever learned how to do was go to college. I went to college, but I grew up on a farm first, fortunately. So I did learn a few things that way. And I've been, getting my hands dirty the last several years. So I've got the learning going. And I share it with you guys. But you learn how to do stuff. Have classes and have people over and show them how to do it. Teach people. Start a catering service. Start a run one of these little food trucks. Like I say, people aren't going to restaurants like they used to. Food trucks are rising in popularity because people don't have to go out for the restaurants. Restaurants come to them. Here's one people hadn't really thought about. It's similar to the courier service. When I was a kid, there were a lot of stores and vendors that went around in the rural area, especially the old country stores. The stores on the wheels went away, but there was still the coffee man, a few other things that would go around and run routes and deliver specific products to people in the country, and the people having to go to the stores. That kind of went away as more and more people got in cars, and the grocery stores got better and better, and supermarkets. But we may see a return to that. We might have the store on wheels, Meals on Wheels. So literally, there's a zillion things you can do. It's just you got to let your imagination climb up that ladder and figure out what it is you want to do. What's in demand today? Stuff, prepping skills. Go out in the woods, learn all the ins and outs of bushcrafting, and then start teaching to other people. Learn it, do it yourself. And once you got it figured out, turn around and help other people. Teach them how to do these things. You might have outing classes where y'all go out in the woods somewhere, and hey, it's like camping out. Might camp out for a living. Could be worse things to do than that, maybe, possibly. Like hanging live chickens in a chicken pen. That's about the worst thing I ever done in my life. Yeah, I've done that. Rocket scientist and chicken plant, live chicken hanger. I didn't do that for long. Worked in a cotton mill. Been in the Army. Been an armorer. Had an arms room. Ran computers in the Army too. Kind of been around, guys. But, favorite thing I ever did? Hay baling, cut, raking, and baling hay. Enjoy the heck out of that. Grow weed, Pray says. I had many things. So, it shows up all over the internet with that pound topic. So, yeah. So what is it, Daniel? If any topic with the word pound in front of it, it all just amalgamates together. How's that work? Yeah, why don't I use it? Because I don't know what it is. Hashtag. Okay. I grow herbal. Or yeah, there you go. That's a good idea, Richard. I grow medicinal herb. I got what I got going here. It's garlic and turmeric. Yeah, I can't grow weed. I get fired from my day job. I can't be around it. I love learning new hands-on skills from a helpful expert. There you go. That's a good way to learn it. Best way to learn anything is to do it. But have the expert there with you while you're doing it. Else you'll have to kill yourself. Don't touch that. That's high voltage. You'll fry. Yeah, be careful. There are some things that you don't do them twice, because one time is all it takes, and you're a crispy critter, especially when dealing with high voltage. Medical jobs aren't all bad. Learn how to take care of others. Yeah, that's true. But you're exposing yourself to whatever they got too. But somebody got to do it. Milkman babies are now the 2020s Amazon babies. Uh-oh. Yep, they're going to start delivering by drone. So I mean, everybody's going to be, oh, that's how the transhumanism is coming in. His daddy was a drone. That's why he looks like a robot. Okay. I get ridiculous now. It is 1:37 in the morning. So I walked out of mechanics course to go work in a mine. Yes, Callie, they wanted me to gain qualification for 2 years for things I already knew how to do. Got that. So like Dave says, exactly scratch. PET scan again on the 19th. Oh, okay, Granny, good luck with that. Good luck. Good luck. I rewired a cathedral with no qualifications. If you know how to do it, you know how to do it. And just a figmentation says his daddy was a drone. There you go. And he just keeps droning on. He's trying to fly around in the room for some reason. He's bouncing around. Howdy from Northeast Washington State Mountain, says S. Hagley. How you doing, bud? So, Daniel, Drone Daddy coming this fall. There you go. So we could start a TV show, couldn't we? We could have some fun. See, that's one thing we got here. We got imagination. That's what it takes. It takes imagination. So, all right, Granny, let's all pay for Granny. Granny has had a rough time. That's what we're going to do tonight when we wrap up here. Pray for Granny and anybody else. We'll do. We're about time to be done. We've been almost 2 hours now. In fact, it'll be 2 hours and 2 minutes. That cathedral that houses the Magna Carta. Wow, Scratch. No green grace could salute like that, did he? Perfectly formed salute. Comes straight to your temple or the brim of your cap. And you bring that to that point. And if you're really more sharp about it, you do it fast. Execute, de-execute. See how I do it every time. Quick draw, salute. Reagan Mods, I'll give Granny my number in here if you want to. That's up to you. You can give her your number if you want. Of course, you're telling the whole world what your number is when you do that. That's what you want to do, but just recognize, probably nothing to come up, nobody bother you. I used to publish my phone number in a magazine. Used to be in the magazine that had Astra. For years, my phone number was published for everybody. Didn't give me too much trouble. Having a worm farm gives me a lot more calls. Let's see, Scratch says, the one, that was my mission, Harriet. I had a video and story about the work with the Magna Carta. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's our original document of freedom. So I'm often quoting from this thing, guys. Our Constitution, and this book also has the Declaration of Independence in it, but the Magna Carta was the original. Wow, Scratch, I don't have to come see you one of these days and go look at that. How far is the Magna Carta Cathedral from where you're at now, Scratch? If you do, delete it after. Oh, the phone number. So Emily, Richard, all right. All right. That's a good idea. Let's take it out. Well, we've been going for 2 hours and about a minute now. It is getting close to 2 a.m. here. So I reckon, here's what I'm planning to do. I'm going to do a video, motivational video. And there's so much stuff coming at us, every direction. There's a lot of negativity, a lot of rumors, innuendo. It's all over the map. There's a lot of things to be worried about. I mean, it's like they're trying to put that jackboot on their neck right now. They're trying to jack us into the hive. There is so much going on that we need to be centered, because I've got a lot of friends that are just, this is making them sick. They're worried about all these things going around, things that would be put into them that they don't want. I've got friends that are getting in the panic phase. And I've always told you guys, never panic. So I'm gonna have to do a video about being centered and having faith. And it'll be like a pep talk about being a bomber in World War II. Stay the course. Don't pay attention to the flag. Because right now I've got friends that are not as functional as they could be, because they're spending so much time. And we all do it some. There's so much news and things going on. At some point, when all the stories start sounding the same, and every email and all these different videos start sounding the same, you need to pick things up a little bit just so you can get things done. I'm gonna do a video on that. And at some point, I'm gonna do a video on cans, how long they last. I'm gonna do a video on why we have to go to the moon. I'll probably do that on Galactic Rex. And I'm gonna do a video about food prices. Yeah, especially with China buying so much stuff right now. So I got some stuff in the pipeline. I'd hoped to do some of that today, and I just didn't have time. So I was wanting to do one more video before I did this one, and I just didn't have time, guys. After doing my Galactic Greg's lunar anniversary video. Thyroid globin is 7.6. I don't know what those numbers ought to be. Alrighty, folks. Well, I think we need to call it a night here, or else I got to get some more coffee. One or two in my house. I got a little bit here. Might keep me going a little bit longer. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Do we have any? Love your hat, says this Hagley. Thank you. Been subbed to you a while, but this is my first time watching. All right, Mac Loves Life. So Mac Loves Life, how long have you watched this video tonight? So yeah, this video, I started this channel just to cover farming, urban gardening, worms. And then somebody says, oh, I heard you did 2 power grid defense conferences. Tell us about the power grid. So I did. And so I had a whole bunch of preppers join my channel. Okay, now it's going to be a prepping channel. Then, of course, people discover I'm really a space guy. I started another channel to do that stuff. As I tell you, keep your topics on your channel very narrow. Very narrow. Keep very narrow. They say that's the way to success. So I got camps of people here. If I post a video over here, these guys unsubscribe. Post a video over here, these guys unsubscribe. Plus the algorithms don't know who to send my videos to. They get confused. So it is a bit of a problem when you have a broad spectrum channel like this has evolved into. Now, there's a lot of things I try not to cover in my videos. You'll hear me talk about more stuff when I talk to Rex, things I wouldn't put on either channel, Galactic Greg's or Green Greg's. And some nights in here, you guys pull it all out of me. All right, so we can use Val Thor's Victor 1. I hear Park Cloak next to Groom Lake. Yeah, so where did Valiant Thor go, guys? We heard this thing about Valiant Thor briefing the Pentagon in the late 1950s, and he just supposedly disappears. There's some young guy claiming, or there's no other old man these days that claims he's the son of Valiant Thor. Yeah, right. So, yeah, I don't know what that's all about. What's your space channel? Galactic Greg's. There we go. Thank you, Scratch. Thank you. Thank you. Thumbs up, all. Well, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. So, The more thumbs up I get, the better. Now, somebody gave me a thumbs down. Wow, guys, somebody been here live, come in here, chatted with us maybe, and didn't say, yeah, you stink. I don't like it. What if, you don't like it, tell me why. Don't give me a thumbs down. At least tell me why. Give me some feedback. What am I doing that's making you unhappy? Is it because I've talked about space? Yeah, I'm probably not making flat earthers happy, but I can't help it. I'm a rocket guy. Unicorn. Rocket unicorn. Oh, maybe that's a horn. All right, guys. How about a rocket launch? Anybody want to see a rocket launch? All right. So this is my analog to a starship. Super heavy, starship upper stage. Just ack. Just ask. Okay, ask. Scratch ask. See, Vicky Savage, thanks. So what did Vicky say here? Guys, they're just getting all kinds of stuff out of me tonight. New days, old ways. Oh, okay. Can you please some of the people, some of the time, not all the people all the time, just be you. There you go. There you go. A friend from Maine. They're a friend from Maine. Vicky, Scott, different seeds require different conditions to stay viable. That's true. And some won't last long and some do. And Jessel likes both my space videos and the other stuff too. Well, good. Well, some people like both, some don't. Daniel, subscribe to your channel, Scratch. All right. There we go. Vicky, Greg, I was going to ask everybody for thumbs up, but you already have more than you have viewers. Yeah, but the thing is, there might be people that hadn't given a thumbs up because people come in and out over the course of the night. This video may have had 1,000 views already, but only got 94 in the ring. People just come in and out, in and out. So yeah, if you haven't gave a thumbs up, it really does help the algorithms. The higher we get that score, the better it goes. Need to run a chat room on Paul Talk back in the days. I wasn't so cam shy. Camera shy these days. Rosemore Greg, have you ever designed or thought about making a starship? Give Elon a run for his money or maybe some advice. Well, I built hybrid rockets and launched them from altitude balloons 20 years ago. In fact, I started that project in 1994. We did our first space launch in 1997. It was called the HAL 5. It was called the Halo Altitude Liftoff Sky Launch 1. And it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. So, done a lot of stuff. Done a lot of crazy stuff. Sub 2, thank you, says Scratch. So, but it's a lot. The thing is, if you really want to start a space company, you need a lot of money. And it means you need your own money. Going after other investors' money is just, I haven't seen too many space companies really last long doing that. The only ones that are really successful, like Virgin Galactic, Blue Origin, and SpaceX, are all ones that were started by the billionaire. The billionaire starts his own company. Well, I've never quite been a billionaire because I went into space before I went into business. I should have went into business and then went into space. Then I might be up there with Elon Musk and some of those guys, right? I met Elon a couple of times. Everybody thumbs. Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. Help me battle Al Gore or No Rhythm. Thank you, Vicky. Alrighty, guys. So Granny needs our prayers tonight. Granny needs our prayers tonight. No buts, no Buck Rogers. You got that, Zenzabil? Zenzabil. You got that right. No bucks, no Buck Rogers. And the best way to start it's with your own bucks, and you ain't got nobody else to answer to. So you start on somebody else's bucks, you got to answer to him. So he may not be an engineer and understand what you're doing. All righty. Jessa has got the prayers for Granny. Anybody else got a prayer request? Let's take prayer request right now. And just so everybody knows, this is not a religious channel. We just, but we believe in the power of prayer and meditation and thought to help people. And Zenzabel says, wow, I drank beer with Elon at Tesla. Well, good for you, Zenzabel. I don't have regular access to him. Do you? If so, maybe we can get him involved in some power grid defense stuff too. He's got to have a good power grid working to keep the society together. 2008-ish. Oh yeah, 2008. He wasn't so well known. See, I met him back in probably 2006 or something like that. I met Glenn Shotwell first. I spent his vice president of SpaceX. I attended a 2-day workshop with her in Houston. And, you know, SpaceX was just another little rocket company back then, one of several. All right, Pal Talk. Never did Pal Talk. Let's see. Praise for Kaylee, my granddaughter, not me. Oh, Kaylee. Yeah, we did pray for your granddaughter before. That's right. Say, pray. We're going to pray for Kaylee, Granny's granddaughter. Leroy, if you've heard me talk about my my universal habitat, I'm probably going to build most of them with earth bag walls, although that's not required you do that for the concept. But that's really what I'm thinking. I like earth bag walls. Pray for. I pray first, always. Thanks. Yes, Vicky. That's Vicky always tells us first. Give thanks for what we have. And that's a good way to start, with the attitude of gratitude. Pray for Larry's dementia that I take care of. 76-year-old stroke survivor. Oh, okay. Well, dang, you're taking care of somebody. Okay. You got to have a break, Richard. I had to. Pray for President to help him find his way back to the Lord in a country and himself. Okay. It's a good one, Frozen World. Yeah, he's went way over on the other side, I think. Wallace Knife Works and Homestead. Good morning, folks. Let's see, Richard Bell. I ran an emotional and psychological support room scratch. Oh, wow. Every breath and heartbeat's a blessing. You're so right about that, Vicki. All righty. Let's do that now. Let's pray. Everybody pray in your own way, with your own faith. Wow. We're commanded to pray for our leaders, not admire or like them. So right. So right. Greater Creator, love to y'all. There you go. Richard, I spent 12 years on Yahoo counseling peeps. Wow. Awesome scratch. Sonali, best to keep Where did it come on? Oh, comments jump. Oh, you deleted it. Oh, gosh, Sonali. Start reading. There we go, Scratch. So it's not, you know, we got people here from different faiths. That's why I say everybody pray according to their own faith. It is written that those in leadership positions are held more strictly to account because they are expected to set the example for the rest of us. I'll do it all for free, said Scratch. All right. Alrighty, folks. We're fast approaching the change of an hour here. Something got clicked, got retracted. Oh, you didn't retract it, Sonali? Yeah, it said you'd retracted it. It didn't say somebody deleted it. That's odd. So I was just reading your comment and it went poof. All right. So who would have thought coming on to a worm farm live session would be talking about starships, Neuralink, wormholes, comets, UFO drives. Tessie, how you doing? Frozen world, amen, and good night, and God bless, and stay free, Greg, and get some rest, bud, and bless all prayer, and go up, blessings come down. There we go. Thank you, Frozen World. I hope I answered half your questions tonight there, Frozen World. Excuse me. Plunders plush leaders. Pleaders push leaders. There we go. Pleaders push leaders. At least it alliterates and rhymes a bit there. Sonia, I was saying not to expect anything from the government. Oh, yeah, you got that right. You got that right, Sonia. Greg, I'm starting to hear the exhaust in your voice. Get some rest. Yep, I think it's time we go here. Granny, remember me? I need some arms. Let me know. April. Yeah, the reason I'm looking down, that's where this laptop is. That's where I'm reading your comments at. See? All right, everyone. Whew, yeah, I'm getting tired now. So I think we need to go. My brain helped tens of thousands around the world, if you're rich. Yeah, so now we got the cream of the creme in here tonight. Good people, a lot of good people here tonight. I think I'll get the best chat rooms of anybody. You're all good people, good souls. A lot of wisdom, a lot of wise people in this room tonight. People with good hearts. That's what we're going. It's the wisdom right here that's the most important wisdom you'll have. You can have wisdom up here, but true wisdom comes from the heart, where love comes from, where God comes into you at. The greater creator talks through here and out through here. So if you turn off your heart, you're not receiving. You're not receiving. Yeah. All righty, Jesse. Good feeling, but yeah. I hear you, Scratch. Thank you. All right, folks. I'm gonna have to. All right, thank you there. New days, old ways, Katie. All right, I'm gonna shut down the laptop because I'm not seeing your comments right here. I'm just looking at the screen that shows me. So at least I know what I'm doing. At least I know what I look like. Yikes. Hope everybody's had a good night. Hope everybody goes to bed and gets some good sleep and good dreams. Say a prayer before you go to sleep. And start with the attitude of gratitude. Because, you know, we're in rough times. We're in tough times. But I'm going to do a video to tell you to stay centered. I got to do that because I just feel called to do that right now because of what I've been seeing and hearing from other folks. So that's coming. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Good night.